Welcome to Anglia Car Auctions. I thought I would spend just a couple of minutes telling you about this iconic car and a very interesting car that's coming up in our next sale on the 22nd and 23rd of June. Now, those of you that know just a modicum about classic cars will know that this iconic shape is, of course, the Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. It's the two-door version with the big whale tail spoiler. What makes this car a little bit interesting, and we'll have a little look around the bodywork in just a moment, is that it has just two recorded owners. Now, the first keeper was the Ford Motor Company. Now, this is possibly an original press car or a support vehicle for the Boreham Rally. So those of you that are in the know, those of you could help us out, we would love to hear. The registration number is D790PVW, and Ford retained it until it was less than a year old, so just under a year old. It was sold on to its only other recorded owner, and the original, I've got the logbook, but I've got the original bill of sale from the Ford Motor Company. And what's interesting on here, when it was sold to less than a year old, the vehicle was sold without a warranty. And I do believe that's something that they did for a lot of their press cars. The car was then put away for many, many years. It was used up until the 90s, early 90s, then put away. It's seen the light of day occasionally, but largely it's just been barn stored up until a few years ago, where it's been recommissioned by our vendor and offered for sale. Now, why I want to point out a few bits about the bodywork. Yes, it's a little bit scabby. It's very unusual to see a car like this with some scabs to the paintwork, and it would have been oh so easy for someone to quickly give it a coat of paint, but I think it's great to see it in its working clothes. It's a very, very honest car. I've not looked underneath, but I'm told it's never been welded. We will try and get some photos of underneath. It is MOT'd. Very, very interesting car, and it's recording just 63,000 miles. Now, we can't warrant that, but we do know when it was first MOT'd, and I'll just pull this out, in 1989, it had done 42,000 miles. So first few years of its life, it did some miles. And the last MOT, which we have prior to it being laid up in 1992, it had done 59,000 miles. So everything stacks up. We know it was MOT'd after its slumber in 19 at 62,000 miles. So a very interesting car. Those of you with a lot more knowledge than me about Fords, if you could do some delving, we'd love to hear from you. But we're offering this car in our next auction, 22nd, 23rd of June, with a very attractive estimate of £28,000 to £34,000. So let's see where it goes. We'd love to hear from you. And it's also going to be the final call for entry. So if you've got something you're considering selling, do get in touch. Don't leave it too late. We've got hundreds of fantastic cars, including a beautiful Aston Martin DB5, a Mercedes 280 SE Cabriolet, and many, many more. Ford's featuring heavily if you're a Ford fan. So see you soon. Take care.